Ukraine marriage traditions is our topic for today, guys, and I'm happy to greet all of you. Good morning. Today, I would like to talk about an amazing topic which you will never see in any country because Ukrainian and Russian traditions are so unique. They're so interesting and sometimes funny and crazy that I think only in a Ukrainian wedding you can feel the real taste and vibes of that unforgettable energy and positive atmosphere, both at the same time sometimes touchy and at the same time very funny and crazy. Guys, I would like you to do us a favor. Please subscribe with us while clicking the subscribe button below this video and the notification bell button to not to miss any of our new live episodes. We would like also you to follow us on Instagram at Match Guarantee and be our winner every Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time. So you will never miss this chance and get a chance to have all the details or like a Skype, Viber, WhatsApp of the lady of your dream. So, guys, please always be with us, be informed, and follow us. We will be happy to cooperate with you and make your dreams come true. Our matchmaker and professional Vita will be streaming on the 14th of December, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, as usual. So the next Saturday, she will be happy to talk about 5 most wanted features in a man for Ukrainian girls. So if you would like to know what Ukrainian girls look at while choosing a potential husband, if they mostly look at his appearance or maybe they want to have a reliable, responsible, serious man to take care of them, then please also watch her video and we will be happy to assist you and answer all your questions. Dear guys, my next stream will be on the 13th of December as well. It will be 7 a.m. in the morning on Friday, and I will be happy to talk about the topic named Ukrainian girls against American girls, which one makes better wives? So we're not going to judge one side of the world where the women are different totally from the women in Ukraine, but we're just going to compare which one will match you most of all. So all people are different, and probably a Ukrainian wife will be a good match for you, a tender, beautiful, feminine, who will follow you, or probably you should just check for another type of woman, the Western woman, who are family, not so much family, but I think more into goal oriented and career oriented. Just you need to check by yourself what is the dream woman for you. So guys, we will be happy to answer all your questions, and in the end of this video, as usual, I will also double check the chat and chat a little bit with you, answer your questions, and probably take into the consideration the most wanted topics you would like to hear in our next live episodes. So let's start from the topic, guys. I think the marriage and the meaning of marriage in Slavic country is very important, and we pay even more attention to this touchy and amazing thing in life than some Western people. To be honest, Slavic people prefer a real marriage with a stamp and a passport than a civil marriage. Civil marriage also exists in Ukraine and in Russia, but to be honest, it's not so spread like a civil marriage in the USA or Western countries. So I would like to ruin your myth and tell you that marriage is not just a stamp in a passport for us Ukrainian ladies. It's a proof that you, our man, whom we respect and love so much, can take a responsibility for us as your woman. So you will be responsible for our future family, and it does matter. I think this stamp is one of the proofs in life and even in a psychological understanding that you have chosen already the woman of your dream and you would like to be with us. A few days ago, as usual, I've been checking many different interesting information in psychology and some reliable checked resources, and I found that by Hellinger, marriage with a person means a lot for a partner. It means to a partner that, you know, darling, I have found you, I have chosen you, so let's be together. And it was proved by some scholars, though always you can disagree or agree with some moments, because you know in science there is no black or white, there is no right or wrong, always there are exceptions, right? But many couples were checked who wanted to get married and who were still in a civil marriage, and they found out that wives, like potential wives, women, and some of the potential husbands, men, were feeling a bit disappointed and sad at their partner, because the partner was not rushing with the marriage, with the registration, with the stamp and the passport. But the good moment that they found out when the people just looked in each other's eyes and told, darling, I'm choosing you, I'm not going to choose someone else, so let's be responsible for each other's care in good and like pity moments. Then the partners stopped feeling this sadness, and they felt some psychological relief. That is why it proved one more time that like registered marriage does matter and has like more so to say importance in life than just a civil marriage, because a person is sure in you then, and the person can trust you completely. So we're here to be in love and be in a nice serious relationship. That's why I hope the topic for today will be interesting for you, because we're talking about real marriage, about real feelings, and about true love, true happiness until the rest of your life. Well, guys, there are some very funny moments when bride and groom are preparing for marriage. In the whole process, especially for a wife, to choose a dress, to choose a veil, to choose a place for the party, for the dinner, and so on. And it's both sad and funny, because when a woman is choosing her veil, it also has a very strong meaning for her in life, because a white whale. Have you ever thought, why do women brides, both in Ukraine, Russia, and even in the Western parts of the world, wear the white dress and the white veil? White veil means purity. It means that the lady should be a virgin, that she's beautiful and pure, not only outside but also inside. That is why it'll explain you and prove one more time that purity of a lady, self-respect for a lady, and keeping herself as much as possible for her potential husband has been very important for Slavic culture since many thousand years ago, and until now even you can find these couples, though not so often, unfortunately, where even some wives and husbands are waiting until marriage to keep like this first night, this first intimacy for marriage. But usually it happens very rare. Nowadays it's more into the Muslim culture, but still, trust me, I've seen such couples, though very rare. But anyway, it doesn't mean that a woman shouldn't respect herself and keep herself as more as possible for her potential husband, because it's good for health and beauty of the relationship and purity. So let's proceed to the next point, which is the registration of a marriage in a municipal building and in a church itself. I've seen some weddings in the West, and they do differ from the weddings in the Slavic culture, though both of them are so beautiful. And I can say that not all the people in Ukraine and Russia go to the church to have this process of a wedding, but many of them who are religious or who are spiritual, and especially those who have chosen the partner after having been thinking for a long time, and who are sure that their partner can be the only one for the rest of the life, they usually are ready for this important moment, because when two people go to the church, and there is the whole process, a very long and beautiful and very touchy, trust me, process, when a groom and a wife are standing in front of the priest and they are telling their promises to each others, almost like in the Western world, where you also have a very beautiful process of this. And they should be very sure about each other, because it's difficult later to cancel everything when they have already got their registration in the church. It takes time because it's something spiritual, and before that they should be very careful. They shouldn't drink, shouldn't eat the like products which are forbidden, and even like keep some distance from each other's, I mean intimacy, to postpone it until the process in the church, when they have this wedding in a church. But some people who are also like nice with beliefs and values and religious, they keep this process for a long time, and they can do it anytime actually. But the registration of the marriage itself is important. Of course, you cannot miss it. And though the majority of couples have been prepared for this event for a long time, they choose their clothes, they choose the place, they invite many people as guests. But sometimes some couples, especially young people, may just come in sneakers and like baggy clothes and sign and get this stamp on a paper, though it happens more rare, because a marriage itself, a wedding itself, is very important for a beautiful, tender Ukrainian lady. It's one of the most like happy moments in our lives, when our man who loves us proves us, darling, you're the one for me, I'm the one for you. You're the love of my life, and I'm ready to be responsible for you, our kids, our family, no matter if you're planning or not planning, big family or small family, but it's something very like deep and mutual, right? So usually women choose the white dress and wail for a long time, and they do worry, and there are so many moments, both like important and funny moments, like some customs before going to the municipal building, that I'm sure you would never see these customs in any of the country except Ukraine and Russia. Before going to register your marriage, darling husband, if you're going to marry a Ukrainian woman, be ready that you have to pay for her. Why? Because there is a custom when a groom comes to see his beautiful bride for the first time, and all the guests and family of the wife have been waiting in her house mostly, and a groom to be able to touch his wife, to see her for the first time and take her out and proceed to the registration hall, needs to pay as much money as possible, in like in a hat or in whatever it can be, because in different parts of Ukraine the traditions are very different, and in villages the weddings are probably the most funny and unpredictable. But in even in big cities, there are still the same customs and traditions which you can see everywhere. And only when a husband can put enough money to get his wife, it's very similar to a custom in the Muslim culture. Only then he can take the wife and all the families, and together with the guests proceed downstairs to sit down in their beautiful cars. We usually don't put the cans and adjust them to the car like you do in Europe, but trust me, like Ukraine has been becoming more Europeanized, and like sometimes we do very similar, like so to say, traditions and customs like you do, but mostly those people who have been to America and Europe for many times, and they can also adjust the cans and put this Barbie doll together with a can on the top of a car. It's cute and funny, and everyone will know that it's your wedding because all the cars will be like beep 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 beep, and all the people will be like watching at your cars and being grateful that someone has become like a real couple today. And when they couple, the future husband and wife, come to the registration hall, they also have some things to follow after signing the paper and telling yes to each other, that they are ready to be together, both first wife then husband, the same like in Europe or America. There are some other small customs after that, when they may so to say, take a piece of special Ukrainian traditional wedding bread called karavai, and the one who will take cut the bigger part of the bread will be like a leader in a house, in their family. It's just like some small funny superstition. And also they should step together, or usually either a woman or a man, either a bride or groom, steps on a special traditional towel called and when they step on this special traditional piece of clothes, it's like a special traditional towel. The one who is the first usually will lead in the family, like it's another small superstition, and it's called rushnik. So you will see it mostly in villages, but also they do it in cities as well, and it's really very funny and touchy at the same time. Then a husband and a wife make the photos together with the rest of the guests and their families. Some of them also put the dolls in the skies, and the birds fly away, and it's another beautiful sign for a couple, but it's not mandatory because nowadays Ukrainians start also like following the customs and like Europeans do, and we do care about animals. So nowadays, not all the couples take the birds to just let them fly in the sky because they feel pity for the birds. Though it's all up to the cases. All weddings are so different. Another funny moment is that if you come to a small city or probably a village in Ukraine, you may be shocked as a groom, but please don't run away from the wedding. You may see that there are so many guests over there, like 500 people whom you have never seen in your life and probably will never ever see in your life as well. But in a small, in other like bigger cities, and in like nowadays situation where the people are mostly up to the nowadays standards, and they also guys try to follow your European culture, they don't usually do very big weddings. They will better invest money in a beautiful dress and a beautiful expensive place, probably fancy place, no matter on the income of a family. Usually they you know, for us it means a lot. A wedding is like probably one of the most important things for Ukrainian and Russian person, and no matter if the family is rich or not so rich, they will always save this money and keep it for the wedding, to choose the most fancy place and to be able to give to the guests the most delicious food. That is why in bigger cities, usually we do not ask many guests to come. It can be like a small circle of closest people, together with the parents, of course, and closest friends. So it's always up to the groom and the bride. And I would suggest you, if you're going to marry a beautiful Ukrainian lady, just to avoid some stupid, not necessary misunderstandings or fights, just always discuss with her which kind of wedding she would like to have. Is it important for her to have a beautiful, expensive dress? Most probably she will tell you yes, so be ready for that if you really love her. But some of the ladies will tell you, that's fine, darling, we don't need to like invite many guests whom we don't know even, like in the villages where the weddings are really fun, by the way, trust me. I would like encourage you to visit them by yourself, to see it with your own eyes. And in this case, the lady may just like agree for a small wedding, but in a beautiful still place with a good, delicious food and so on. Especially if she wants to save some money for the honeymoon, which is also important for us, and she will wait you definitely to bring her to the most beautiful place. So be ready for that. We Ukrainian women have a lot to give to you guys, like tenderness, beauty, and so on. But also we will demand some things from you as well, like because we want to our husband to prove us that he loves us. He doesn't save on us. It's important for us, and he treats us like a queen. Yeah, everyone wants to be a small princess or queen, same like you guys are the kings for us. So we do love you. Well, guys, I hope you've got the most important moments concerning the preparation for the wedding itself. And then after all these procedures with the stamp and the passport, all people proceed to a fancy dinner to celebrate the event itself. And before that, they may stop somewhere in beautiful gardens or in just some historical beautiful places to make lots of photos and so on. This is the whole procedure. Of course, the young people will get a bit drunk at the same time already before even coming to the dinner, but usually like people try to be mature and control how much they drink, because I've seen some funny and sometimes even dangerous cases when even in a church some drunk witnesses so to say, like, or friends of a bride from a bride's side or groom's side were fainting just because they've been drinking before, as it takes time to register and follow all the processes of marriage before even coming to the dinner and to the beautiful restaurant waiting for you with lots of nice food over there and drinks over there. So just always keep it in mind. Don't do everything from the beginning. Just control how much you drink, eat. So the wedding will be a very happy and unforgettable moment for you, instead of just fainting or feeling bad, because still you will have another day of the wedding usually. Not always, but many couples do the second day of the wedding as well. In the villages, they may drink the whole week, and it's both funny and so interesting and beautiful. Just any kind of an exaggeration is always bad, so try always to keep everything in life, same like in partying, in a balance. When a wife and a husband come to the restaurant, the guests start congratulating them for having become a true institute of a family, and proving the meaning of their love while signing the papers, and they start presenting them many flowers, lots of presents. Usually people in Ukraine, even those who are not very rich, trust me, you will like this point about Ukrainians. They are very generous. And even in a most poor house of a family with a small income, no matter in a village or in a city, trust me, a family, true Ukrainian family, even a Russian family as well, will always meet you with a big table full of tasty food, the most beautiful, tasty, traditional food and drinks. And it doesn't depend on the income of a family. It's something personal. It's about the generosity of our culture, of our people. And I think you have already tried it and felt it when you were in Ukraine before. If you haven't been here before, so we do invite you. And if you are a guest in a family in Ukraine, it's like in a Muslim culture, you will be the most wanted guest in a family, and you will feel how much you're appreciated with the care of a family, of any house, in any kitchen. Okay. So let's proceed to another moment. After the presents, a wife and a husband already, the newborn husband and wife, start dancing their first dance. It's very romantic. Before, people didn't pay so much attention on a dance technique, but nowadays brides want their wife to be the best in the city, and sometimes they even compete with other wives, so they even go with their poor groom, who usually doesn't want to learn that in details, to a teacher, and they start nowadays learning some special moves and techniques to make them dance beautiful, even like more interesting for the guests to watch. But it's not mandatory. You may just be sincere and to look in each other's eyes and just dance how you want. The most important that your partner will feel your love. And I think this is the most beautiful and touchy moment in the beginning of the wedding. Then there will be many funny, sometimes crazy games during the whole wedding. Sometimes you will be shocked, sometimes you will laugh a lot, and in different weddings the games can be totally different. For example, the friends from a wife's side collecting money for from the guests, and the guests from the groom sides collecting money from the guests as well, to know whom the guests wish more to have for a newborn family, if they want to have a girl or a boy when they deliver a baby. So if the groom wins in this game, then the guests think that the first baby will be a boy in this family. If the wife wins, then they think there will be a girl, the newborn baby in the family. So there are so many different games, and in villages you will see more funny and sometimes even naughty games with the balloons and with bananas and so on. I think you will laugh a lot. Sometimes you will be shocked. But in big city life weddings, you will see less of these naughty games and more of different performance, like singers, dancers, a special anchor during the whole wedding, who will be talking and leading the wedding the whole night, called tamada, the speaker during the wedding, like I'm speaking to you. And I think you will never be bored in a Ukrainian or Russian wedding. You just need a lot of powers to keep yourself still awake and not drunk and control the situation, because, as I've told, there is the whole night waiting for you and the whole next day waiting for you to continue the wedding, if not more. And beside all this dancing and singing, because definitely many guests will get drunk, they will start singing, they will start dancing. You will hear Verka Serduchka songs in some weddings, but in some like more fancy weddings where young people don't want to be look like out of date, they will try, for example, to invite the singers who will sing probably more of international songs, and probably some really professional musicians with different fancy instruments, and belly dancers, and the fire show, and so on. So I'm sure you will never feel bored. If they take you to one of the games, then I think you will feel the spirit of a Ukrainian wedding the most of all, because yeah, you should be prepared for that. And definitely you should dance. You should dance, you should laugh, and the most important, you should always shout gorka, gorka, gorka. It's a Russian word that is translated, if to translate it word to word, bitter. But actually, it doesn't mean bitter. It just means that the guests have been a bit bored, so to say. It's a joke, of course, and they want some to see and feel something sweet. Yeah. They want a performance. So it's a sign for a beautiful couple, for a groom and a bride, that this is the right time for them to start kissing. And yeah, it's already up to you if you want to kiss with the tongue or without, because trust me, there will be many granddaddies and grandmoms. So I don't want them to faint if they see something like too much romantic. So it's up to you. Just be yourself, enjoy the wedding, and of course, if you're a groom, please don't get drunk, because the whole night, especially the first night, is waiting for you. So you don't want to spoil it, right? You want to enjoy your first night. All right, guys. Oh my God, there are so many different games and customs to talk about. I will be telling you about like the most spread customs. But if you are here by yourself, I think you will see in different weddings many different miscellaneous customs. And sometimes you will cry, sometimes you will laugh, and just sometimes you will feel so happy and blessed to be a guest, or especially a groom on a Ukrainian wedding. For those guys who haven't subscribed with us yet, please do us a favor. If you like this video together with the rest of our work for you and our videos, please press the subscribe button below this video together with the notification bell button, where you will see all our live episodes for the next times. Well, guys, let's proceed to another point. In the middle of the wedding, after all this dancing, singing, drinking a lot, trying the most delicious food, and there will be a lot of food. So yeah, be ready for that. Then probably you will have to spend a week, if not a month, in a gym, but it's worth, you know, it's worth a Ukrainian wedding. Where else you will feel these vibes? Oh, you can't buy these vibes. You must just see it by yourself. So during the middle of the wedding, you might be sometimes surprised. Like, for example, a wife has been stolen, and no one will know where is the wife, but it's like on purpose. Don't worry, there is no real crime on a wedding, though sometimes there are some fights, especially in the like funny village weddings, when some definitely like special drunk men make fighting, and it's like a whole mess, but it's so funny. So then you have to search for a wife, and if the wife is found, sometimes a groom, but it was many years ago, had to drink vodka from a shoe of a wife. But nowadays, like, people understand that it's not very like it's not very related to ethics and aesthetics, so they do not usually do this. What they can do is a shoe, and the groom has to drink it all. Or very often the guests from the wedding steal the shoe of a wife as well, and then everyone is searching for the shoe, and so on. So there are so many different games and customs that it's not possible like to describe you all of them, just the most important. Another funny moment is when a groom is going to satisfy the mother-in-law and to make a mom of a wife happy, so to say, because we have in Ukrainian and Russian culture so many jokes about a mother-in-law. You will understand it when you come here. Probably in your countries you also have the same jokes. And a groom, though it was usually many years ago, not always practiced nowadays, is trying to wash the legs of a mother-in-law to make you happy. In one of the weddings, I even saw a groom washing the legs of a mother-in-law by vodka. That was crazy. Poor legs and poor groom. But nowadays in big cities and so to say Europeanist, like up to Europe, like closer to Europe, Ukrainian mentality than it was before, we may miss some of these funny traditions, old traditions, or we may just change it a little bit and wash legs with the water, or just keep it and proceed to another like important or interesting customs, always to keep the guests alive. Then, after washing the legs of mother-in-law, after all this fun and laughing a lot, we guarantee you there comes a more touchy and deep moment. It's the moment when a bride is taking off her veil and putting like a traditional Ukrainian scarf, also like, yeah, on her head. And sometimes a wife is crying during this process because it's not just taking off the veil. It means that a bride is telling goodbye to her young, careless life as a girl, as a lady, and she's becoming a woman. She's becoming a wife. And now she has to dedicate all her time, love, and loyalty only to her husband. And it's so beautiful, especially in village weddings where people like grandmoms, granddads, elder people mostly, but also young people as well, start singing very touchy, romantic Ukrainian traditional songs. And I think you may even cry during this moment. And if you are not married yet, especially with a beautiful Ukrainian woman, I think you will want to marry someone at that moment, just not to feel lonely, because then you understand the whole meaning and importance of a marriage, not only in a Slavic culture, but in life. I really suggest you to come and see this beautiful procedure, so to say. And then again, lots of fun, lots of games, and lots of singing and dancing. It never stops, together with other important traditions, like when a wife is throwing her bouquet into the big crowd of unmarried ladies. And here is where the fun starts. I'm sure you have the same custom in the West and in America. And sometimes some single ladies are so desperate that they start fighting for this bouquet, because the one who is the lucky one and who gets this bouquet thrown in the crowd by a wife who doesn't see where she's throwing, it's behind her back, then this lady, it looks like, will become a next a wife and the next bride. So this custom is also important for Ukrainian ladies. And one more topic to discuss is that be always careful at the party in Ukraine before the wedding. You usually call it a bachelor party. Before, in Ukraine and Russia, we were not practicing it so much, especially like in ancient years. But nowadays, as I've told, Ukraine is becoming closer and closer to Europe mentality-wise, and some even traditions-wise and way of thinking-wise. And we do make this bachelor parties sometimes, but it's up to a groom and up to a wife. And usually it's quite decent. And though you may also find some exotic dancers on a like bachelor party of men or of women, but you know, Ukrainian and Russian culture is considered to be a very like pure family-oriented and traditional culture. So be careful if you wanna like invite a stripteaser or an exotic dancer on your bachelor party before the wedding, if you don't want this party to become the last party and there will be no more wedding. Because honestly, I've seen some fiancés, like brides and mostly grooms who were a bit too drunk, and they were dancing with the exotic dancers and having too much fun, and then they had big fight with the potential partner, and then there was such a big drama that almost that the wedding was almost cancelled. So please, if you love a woman, guys, especially you guys, because the bachelor parties of the ladies are mostly decent, don't worry. In Ukraine, these parties are decent, and we usually put the small veil on our head, maybe one of the times when we are talking about the marriage traditions again. Here online, I will show you. We usually just may dance and so on, but mostly men, I know, can be a little bit naughty and they want to see some beautiful exotic dancers and so on. But if you love your woman, you may even, as I've seen in some very beautiful relations of some couples, celebrate this bachelor party together, then definitely there will be no more fights. Or even if you wanna like make it separately, just please be vigilant, be respectful, and think what will happen next. You don't want this first party to become the last party and there will be no more marriage. So please be nice, gentle, loyal, and love each other one more time. Well, guys, soon I'm going to start checking all the greetings from you, which are very, very important for me, to be honest. And the most important probably moment for you is that I will check your questions. And even if I haven't covered this question in the topic yet, I will be happy to assist you and cover all the dots you have got about Ukrainian wedding and Russian wedding, though the most interesting and advised method is just to come by yourself, or even if you're lucky to marry a Ukrainian beautiful woman, to become a groom. So then you will be in the center of the event and you will feel it by yourself, because the energy is undescribable, guys. To proceed to your questions, guys, I would like to thank you one more time for the attention. And for those who are new with us, the same like for all the gentlemen who haven't been with us for all this time, we would like you to make a small favor for us and just click on the subscribe button below this video to subscribe to our channel, and to see the notification bell button where you will be able to see all our new live episodes made only for you guys. Also, please follow us on Instagram at Match Guarantee and be our winner, a lucky man who can win a chance to have the contact details, including Skype, Viber, of a lady he loves every Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning, together with a new stream prepared by our matchmaker Vita, also at 10 a.m. each Saturday. And her next topic will be 5 most wanted features in men for Ukrainian girls. So you will know how do Ukrainian girls usually choose the man of their dream, their potential husband, and if we care about a handsome look and some other outside things, or just we care about a man to be responsible, reliable, and serious, loyal, so he can take care of us and we can spend probably the rest of the life with him, a happy life in love and in happiness, because only life emotions can make a person happy, and the feeling that you are wanted in this world, right? You love and you're loved, which I wish to all of you guys. And to continue with this topic, I would like to invite you on my own stream the next Friday at 7 a.m. in the morning, also Eastern Time, where I will talk about Ukrainian girls against American girls and which make the best wives. So we will talk which kind of lady suits exactly you, because all people are individual, and though many men would love to be with a feminine, beautiful, tender Ukrainian woman to follow him, but some men better choose, for example, the women who are strong, family oriented, but mostly pay their attention at the career. And then he needs to choose another type of a woman, because all of us have a right and different taste in our choice of the partner to be together the rest of the life. It depends on our values, it depends on our expectations, and it depends on our vision of our ideal potential partner. So always think about it and discuss it with your potential partner to understand if she is the woman you are searching for, and if you're the man she's searching for, or maybe you just need to say goodbye and nicely continue your trip in your life and search for your own partner who will match you. That is why Match Guarantee is here for you, my dear guys. Thank you one more time for the attention. I'm proceeding to your questions. Okay. Don Fiore is telling that I'm ready for my Ukrainian wife. Just so many beautiful ladies. It is hard to set on one. Luckily or unfortunately, you are right, Mr. Don. That is why please be vigilant. Don't only run after the beauty. Always check what is here and here, because you must always ask your partner what is she looking for, what is your ideal family, and which man does she prefer to have in her family. Does she want to work? Does she want a kid? If she's going to relocate to your country, and definitely try always to settle with only one lady who is serious, who is self-respecting, not only beautiful outside but also inside, because a good girl will never expose herself too much, especially to other men, unknown men, only to you. She will never jump to your bed very fast. Just be vigilant and keep it in your mind. And also, I've told already about the age gaps things, when the age gap should also be plus or minus harmonious for you both, like within 15, 16 years, at least 5 or 10. The exceptions still happen, so you will not be disappointed. So let's proceed to another question. Thank you, Mr. Wolhawks, for being always active in all my streams. I've been already talking about some traditions at Ukrainian weddings, and if you want to see more of them, just please come here right now. Maybe you're lucky to see it by yourself and feel these beautiful vibes. Mr. Wolhawks is also telling that he's not a Christian Orthodox religion, how important it is for Ukrainian lady. My dear, it's fine if you're not an Orthodox. I think love can make miracles. The most important is to have values. I think it's not very important if the person is Catholic or Orthodox, which are closer to our mentality and our religions spread here in Ukraine and Russia. But even if you atheist, if you're Muslim, if you're Buddhist, or any other kind of Christian religions representative, that is fine. Love can make miracles, and the most important are values. If you don't do bad things to other people and existence in this world, animals, whatever, and if you love each others, you're nice to each others, I think a woman can close her eyes on that. And I've told that not always people do this process in the church. It's their own wish, and they do it when they are really ready to commit to each other's the rest of their life. Okay, thank you. Oh my God, a very difficult question. How much do weddings cost today in Ukraine? My dear, it's quite expensive, and don't rely on like lower prices in Ukraine than in Europe or America. Wedding is one of the most important events in the life of each Slavic lady. We come very serious to this topic and moment. That's why you must be ready to spend a lot on a Ukrainian wedding. Also, it depends on how many people will be there. As I've told, it's not a mandatory nowadays to have 500 people on your wedding whom you don't know. Don't worry. But definitely any beautiful Ukrainian lady who respects herself and who wants this unforgettable day to be the most memorable day in her life, as she wants to feel like a princess. I also would love to feel the same, trust me. Then definitely she will want a beautiful dress and veil, unless some small number of cases when a woman doesn't want to celebrate it and just goes and puts a stamp with you in sneakers and baggy stuff, though it's more exception than a rule. Then be just prepared to spend on a nice restaurant with nice delicious food, though don't worry, it will be cheaper than in Europe or America, I think so. So the prices can vary a lot, yeah. It may be like more than 10,000 hryvnias, more than 20,000 hryvnias. It may be a bit less, especially if it's a village, because the income is different and the prices on restaurant and rental and the stuff for the preparation and clothes and food are different. But if it's a city life, then just prepare yourself, though don't worry, please. It's one of the most important events in your life. I hope and I wish you all to have only in future, right, in the nearest future, one wedding, but with the right quality person, and spread your love and happiness around all this world. Okay, так, так, ага. Don't worry, don't fear. If you love a woman in Ukraine, you can afford her. Someone is already scared he cannot afford a woman here. Love makes miracles, guys. Don't worry. And I don't think a woman who loves you a lot will demand a lot from you. I think she will be happy with everything you give to her by yourself. She will not demand from you iPhones and Prada on the first date. She will be nice to you, but of course she will always wait from you for surprises, because we love to be wanted by you. We love when we feel that you value us and you care about us. And presents is one of the expression of love, because as I've told, different people have different perception of love. For someone it's nice words, encouraging words. For someone it's presents. For someone it's quality time together. For someone it's tactile things like hugs, kisses, and so on. For someone it's help. So there is always a different way to express your love. Just ask your partner what she likes most of all. Talk to each other, guys. Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys. You're making me laughing. Yeah, just be careful with alcohol. Drink some pills against the headache and some pills against an intoxication. I think it's better to be precautious, because definitely you're going to drink a lot on a Ukrainian wedding or Russian wedding, though it's up to you. And nowadays people understand that they don't want to spoil the most important day of their life. So they're very vigilant and careful with drinking and eating while balancing everything. But it's always better to have at least a pill, like a painkiller or an intoxication pill that will help you to secure yourself. Mm-hmm. Guys, do you wanna try to guess what a beautiful Ukrainian wife and a nice male, so to say, foreign or Ukrainian husband doing after the wedding at night? You may guess now. I don't think all of you will guess, but some of you will. Almost right. Actually, they are counting their money. Yes, it's a funny another point that like of course, love is the most beautiful thing in life, and it inspires people. It makes us waking up in the morning and living this life, right? And intimacy is a very important also moment for a couple. It's one of the most important. That's why you need to keep your purity and your tenderness and loyalty to your partner the whole life, before and during and after the wedding. And of course, I'm sure that people who love each other will spend this night in a very beautiful, romantic way. So please also use your imagination, guys. I already told you about the candles, beautiful music, and about chocolates, romantic stuff, presents. But don't just count your money during the wedding and the presents while like discussing who was stingier from the guests and presented you something small, who has presented you something nice, huge, and fancy, who was more generous or less generous. And I hope you will make this night of your wife an unforgettable one. And also always ask her, be tender and caring to her. Ask her what she wants, what she likes in everything, in intimacy and in life, so she will feel your care, because we women are very touchy, we are very sensitive human beings. And I think it's beautiful when you, male and strong, responsible male, connect with us. Tender, nice, pure, and feminine. Thank you very much for your nice comments. That I sound sweet, that you like the people and the information you've just heard from me. I'm sure that when you come by yourself to a Ukrainian wedding and visit it by yourself, you will love our people, you will love our culture. And it's up to you. You may make a few weddings if you're very rich and you want your woman to be the happiest one in the world. One in Ukraine and one in an island. Though some couples even go somewhere in an island only together, or with their closest people like mom, dad, and some parents. It's always up to you. The most important, just make this day one of the happiest days in your life, because you're doing it for yourself, not for the guests, right? You want to have it quality, not a quantity during your wedding. Yes, so it's always up to you, guys. Thank you. one more time for your questions. And dear Mr. Rodney and Dawn, don't worry, no matter you're 57 or 60, just find a partner who will match you within the age gap, a normal age gap, within the values and expectations, and also physical and sexual attraction, appearance, but something much more deeper than that, also something mutual you share together with your partner. And I'm sure that love can come in any age. There is no right age for love, young, middle, or late age. The most important is to be nice and to be a happy person, spread the love, happiness around you, so you will attract the right person for you by your nice, pure energy. And your loved and loved one will come true and make your life even more sweet. Thank you one more time, guys. Please always be with us. We're here for you. We love you and wish you all the best. Be loved.